This is Bringing the Darkness to the Light with Catherine Nadal, professional psychic medium.
Tonight's guest is Junior Bourcier from Atomik Train. Get ready to crank the volume. Atomik Train, the hard rock band that has been shaking Canada's underground venues and festival stages alike, is full stream ahead and posed to refine the modern rock landscape with the thunderous riffs and relentless rhythms and anthemic hooks. Atomik Train is not just a band, they're a sonic force of nature. Formed by lead singer François Babin and lead guitarist Junior Bourcier, forged in the heart of Montreal, Atomik Train blends the raw power of classic hard rock with a modern edge, drawing comparisons to legends like Guns N' Roses, Foo Fighters, and Avenged Sevenfold, while carving out a sound that's entirely their own. Atomik Train's self-titled debut album is a full-throttle ride through rebellion, resilience, and raw emotion. Produced by John Webster from Aerosmith, Alice Cooper, Motley Crue, and recorded at Montreal's Planet Studios, the album features 11 explosive tracks, including the lead single, Back on Earth, promising to climb streaming charts and rock playlists worldwide via Crown X Recordings. It's a pleasure to have you on, Junior.
Thank you so much. It's a very happy to be there, Kathy, also. Thanks for having me.
Wow, it's so exciting. You know, it's interesting because I started to look at all your music, and there's a lot on YouTube. You know, you can really see you do a stage performance. You know, you can see all the guys in the band. So you'll have to kind of just start out by introducing me to all the members of the band and really how you and Francois started the band. Because I want to know about you as a person, but to just go right into the band to learn all the band members would be great.
Yeah, of course. Francois is the first one that I met. And at that time, I think it was 2015, almost 10 years ago now. I had another band. I was the lead singer, and it was a songwriting band also. It's original stuff. And we wanted to open up for someone that was known. And Francois is known because he did Star Academy here in a TV show in 20 years back in the province of Quebec. And so we had the same bass player, and he said that the two of us, that would really fit well. So we had a meeting, and instantly it did. The connection started right away, and I really liked his energy, and he liked mine, and it never stopped. From there, we did a couple of shows, and our second show was in new people camp, where people are not dressed. So that was our second show.
A nudist colony?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's an experience.
Yeah, in front of 300 people, but they were dressed, well, partly dressed for the evening. It was like a bikers party. So, but it was my birthday at midnight that night, and François made me drink a beer, and there was a little stage where the with a pole, because they wanted to raise money to pay for the show, so the ladies would go there and take their clothes off. Nobody cares, it's a nudist camp. So I went there, and they started taking my clothes off, and I said I have to go play again. I did not stay there too long, but when I came back on the stage, he saw me. I had my shirt off, and he dropped my pants while I was playing the solo of Sweet Home Alabama. So second show with Francois was sort of epic. So it never stopped from there. We had so much fun together. He's a fun guy to be around.
Wow, yes, that's really good thing that's not on YouTube. That would be probably banned.
Someone has a video of that somewhere.
Somewhere. You'll see it at the right moment, I'm sure. Wow. I could
Yeah,
see him doing that though, because
yeah,
kind of like when I was going through, he really runs out. He's running all over the
yeah,
stage, but he's also like interacting not just with the crowd, but the other musicians, and
yeah,
he's got a lot of power. The song we're going to play at the end, which is Supersonic Speedway, which was released on the 20th of June. It's not even a
yeah,
month now that it's been released. And the
yeah,
beginning of that to me is just like, wow. I mean, I know I had read the premise of that song. It was written like, you have to know what road you're taking in life. And you have to keep going on that road in life. Like, you can't allow any distractions, and you have to keep, kind of have your passion on that. And it's interesting because the beginning of that song, he goes into almost like he's singing, obviously, but it's really not words. He goes into almost like a primal kind of a scream that
yeah,
sounds like, if you listen to it close enough, it sounds like the wheels on a car, when they're kind of like screeching down the road. And I'm like, wow, that
yeah.
is so clever. Yeah. So how did that song come about?
Yeah, well, I was playing that little riff after the crescendo when it stops, and then he started screaming that riff. I started playing around with that, and then I had the first verse, the lyrics, and the rhythm guitar. And at first, the guys didn't want to play that song because they thought it was a little too much like AC/DC and another song that we were playing at that time that we're not playing anymore. But I said, man, we gotta play that song. I came back, and eventually they said, okay, let's do it, and that's how it started. And one day after a rehearsal, I was at François' place, and we started working on the lyrics. And I wanted a strong chorus, so we were looking at words that rhyme with A. And at one, he was throwing words at me, a lot of words, and I was like, okay, okay. And then he said speed when I said, that's it, man. And then everything lit up, and the intro came afterwards. I wanted something like Firewoman from the Cult. The intro with the drums at first. I wanted something like this because I thought it was very powerful, and I think the song is pretty powerful. And I wanted to have like the emotion inside that you're feeling before you decide you're going on that direction, and you're choosing yourself and you're doing it. So this is sort of in my head the crescendo was like, and then when everything comes out with the scream and the riff and the full band, it was just so much fun to do.
Wow, it is really a great song though. So I'm glad we're playing that. You have other songs
Thank you.
though, not just doing covers, but you've been able to put together a lot of other songs. What are the other ones like?
Well, the other big single, well, the biggest song for us, we think so far, is Back on Earth. This, again, it's a song about resilience, about never giving up. It's funny because this song, I was playing on my acoustic guitar and having coffee on a Sunday morning, and I left pocket change on the table in the kitchen the day before, and there was a $5 there, a Canadian dollar, and on the back of that $5 is an astronaut. And I just saw the astronaut, and it like clicked in my head, and then I started writing and imagining stuff about what was going on in his head. He's in space. He doesn't know if he's going to arrive on time on Earth, thinking about his family and everything, hoping to make it. So it's all about this, and then the rest of the music came naturally. I wanted to have a power chorus, something powerful in the chorus with the back vocals and another rhythm guitar coming in, and I love this song, and the solo, I just love playing it so much.
That's so
Yeah,
great though. Yeah, I didn't hear that one yet, but I can't wait to hear that. And the whole idea of the astronaut to me is always fascinating. We had some people going to space recently. I think, a musician was part of that. And Katy Perry.
really.
Yeah,
Wow,
it was like, let's go to
wow.
space. I
Yeah,
never had that desire. I think I would rather not go to space. I
yeah,
don't
me
know.
too.
I don't really
Yeah,
like to leave Earth, but yeah. That's so funny though, because every time someone mentions like the idea of going into space, it brings me back to Pink Floyd. He was very much about going out into the atmosphere and being very dreamlike with his lyrics. What were your
yeah.
influences before you started realizing that you were a songwriter in doing this?
I started writing songs and melodies at the age of 9. When I was young, my father was a pianist. My mother played guitar and sang, and that's actually how they fell in love with music. And one evening I saw my father play on the piano with a bunch of friends having a party and having a lot of fun. I said to myself, "That's what I want to do," and this is when it all started. At first on the piano, and then on the guitar at like around age 13. But I always was more interested in creating stuff than learning songs. I learned how to play music. I took piano lessons, guitar lessons a little bit, but I developed a lot my ears by trying to learn because we didn't have internet at that time, so we had to learn by ear. We played it with the cassette and rewind, play, and that's how I learned to play music. And but after that, it was just creation for me. That's the best thing.
So, where were you when you were growing up? Were you in Canada?
Yeah, I was in Canada in a small town. Well, we moved a couple of times, but the longest part was in Cowansville near Granby. About an hour and 15 minutes, so hour and a half from Montreal. And I grew up there, and we had a piano and we had a guitar, and I had a band with my brothers actually. That's my first band. I was a bass player. My brother Patrick, the eldest one, was the lead guitar, and we both sang. And the one in the middle, Steven, was on the drums, and we had a lot of fun.
So, what were you playing? Were you like an 80s kid, or what was
Oh,
going on with
80s.
what were
At
your
that time,
influences?
we played Led Zeppelin, we played ZZ Top. We My influences are mainly AC/DC, Van Halen, U2, Guns N' Roses, a lot of stuff that I love, but mainly AC/DC. When I heard Back in Black the first time, I was, I think, 8 years old. I did not even play music at that time, but I was immediately hooked to that band.
Yes, there are a lot of very well known people that have said the same exact thing. That, it's
I'm sure.
AC/DC. There's something there. It's so
Yeah.
interesting because it sounds like everyone in your family was musical. So they
Yeah.
were very supportive of you or, helping you put together a band. And I think that's neat, though. I mean, my parents, there was a bit of a generational gap. They weren't listening to cool music, they were listening to, like, things I wouldn't listen to, like Perry Como or like back in the
Yeah.
day stuff. So, what were your parents really into? Were they into folk music or they were into the 80s?
Oh my God. No, not at all. Honestly, my father loved 50s and 60s music, mainly 50s. He was playing piano and also the accordion. So it was really cultural music, party music, but also a little bit of military style. When he's playing, it was very. My father was very emotional when he played, and moving to see him. Sometimes he was crying just playing on the piano because the emotion was there. And so it was very inspiring for me. And my mother didn't play often, but she had the most amazing ears. She did not know how to play the piano, but would correct my father. She would tell him, "No, that's not the right note there."
That's so funny. Wow. So, out of you and your brothers, are you the only one that has really pursued music at this point?
Yeah, yeah. Everyone plays. My the eldest one had bands almost all his life, but just cover bands. Only at the end he played a little bit of new stuff that he tried to write. And Steven was like he played more creative stuff, but just for fun. Never try to make a living out of it. Or I actually he almost was the bass player of our band at some point, but he wasn't there in his life. But he had a really cool groove.
Wow, that's cool. So when did you realize that, you were going to, pursue this full time, or did you go to a university? What was your, movement out of a high school environment?
Oh, I went to I went to university in business. I played football. We have the Cégep in the Quebec province before high school and university. And after high school and before university, I played football there. I love that sport, but I wanted to be in business. I wanted to be a good manager. But at that time, I wanted to have a band, but nothing more. After university, I wanted to do this out of my life, but I found a girlfriend. We had kids, and I wanted to concentrate on the family. Now the kids are older, and so now it's my time.
Good for you.
So now we want to do this and travel everywhere and rock as much as possible, respectful in a way. Yeah,
So going back to when you met the singer,
yeah.
Francois, is this your first official band or just
No,
revisiting
no.
that? Because
Well,
now we're kind of doing big time stuff. So was your other band just as popular?
no, we never got to the level that we are right now with my other projects. I did solo project also. I have a piano album that's out everywhere with compositions, but I did not put enough energy in the marketing. And I wanted to do this, but afterwards, what I really wanted was to have a band like Atomic Train and a lead singer like François and a drummer like Alexandre. Alexandre is an amazing. Alex is an amazing drummer. So what I have right now is what I really wanted.
That's great. So so this band has been going since how long? Since you've been together 2015 or
Yeah, well, no, the band actually started in 2021. So it's 4 years now. And it's been a long process. We went to studios. First of all, the first time, François and me, with the drummer that we had at that time, Régis Gravel, that did not stay with the band. He had a deal to go play in China for a musical project. But we never stopped. We hired Rock Laroche, that is the basement of Voivod, for the first three songs that we put out. And then the band was complete in 2021 with Yves Malte on the bass. That's not with us anymore since last year. But we had a lot of fun with Yves, still a good friend, and we recorded three other songs at Wild Studios in Saint-Zenon with Pierre Rémillard, a really cool guy that did great projects with popular Quebec artists like Éric Lapointe and Boom Desjardins. And then John Webster arrived in the game. Uh, Francois, he played back on Earth to his ex-agent when he got out of Star Academy 20 years ago. He met him again for the renewal of the 20 years, and he played back on Earth, and he really loved it. And he sent it to Pierre Paradis, that sent it to John Webster, and John Webster remixed it and made it for 100 times better. The drums are amazing. He did an amazing job, and I said we have to work with that guy. So he wanted to work with us, so we got together and recorded the last five songs at Planet Studios, and then from there we did all the things. But we all have full-time jobs as of now, but we want to go only to the music business. So this is where we're at. So we're very eager to get. So we signed with Chronix Records since last year, and now we're ready finally.
that's great though. It's interesting the timing though, because I think you were saying you've been doing this since 2021. And,
Yeah.
just before 2021, the whole world was going through COVID. So
Yeah.
that's kind of an interesting point. So sometimes in storytelling, we find out that COVID took people away from each other. And in other times, we find out that COVID brought people together. So, what was happening before your 2021 getting together with Atomik Train?
We were already working on this. Of course, COVID did not help us, but did not bring us together. We were already together. It was just beginning. So, but we managed to work it through, and we always believed in it, and we always continue working for that, doing shows, writing songs, and improving ourselves and helping each other out also. And with the over the years, everyone got their own responsibility in the project that where they were the strongest. So there's a great friendship, but also great partnership between us, mainly François and me, that we invested in this project and are leading this, but we need the other guys, and so we're very happy to have Alex, and now it's Nolan, François' son, that's playing the bass, and he did all the artwork. What you're seeing behind me, he did that. The logo and the drawings. He's doing actually at this time his second comic book for a comic book company, and so he's a really very very good artist in many styles, and he's a good musician too. So we're very happy to have him also.
Wow, that's amazing. So he's the singer and he has his son as the bass player.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah.
So is there any like critiquing there, or he's just like, do your own thing?
Honestly, I'm the critique in the band. I'm more of the I would say the musical director. And I think he's happy that I do this because he doesn't have to do it with his son. He keeps a good relationship. But Nolan has only been with us a couple of months now, and he's worked well, and he's doing well, and I do my best to help him out and make sure that he shines as much as possible, and that the band shines also, making sure that we're doing quality in studio, but on stage also. And but everyone is knows their place and knows what they have to do, and lets the others do what they have to do. So there's rarely conflicts. What we say is that when we get in the rehearsal room, we leave our ego outside. So we're here to do the best music possible, the best shows possible, and we're always managing to have fun doing it.
That's great. You had mentioned the drummer briefly before. Tell me more about him.
Yeah, Alex is when he was young, he was a high level hockey player, and he has an amazing discipline. He's a drums teacher also, and it's funny because Francois met him the first time at the music store. He was teaching someone else, but before he was teaching, he was just warming up and playing for fun. And Francois heard him, and he called me right away, and he said, "Man, I found a drummer. He plays like Led Zeppelin." I was like, "Whoa, I want that guy." So he really does play like John Bonham. It's his main influence. He has his own style. He can be jazzy. He can have other styles, but the guy hits on the drums with his stick so hard. This is what I wanted. I wanted the guy that hits hard, because it's music that it's called Atomic Train. So we need someone that can drive us through that. And a really nice guy also, Alex, and great discipline. He's the main guy that's doing our socials. We're doing together, but we all have our part to play. But we're very happy to have him with us.
That's great. And then you had mentioned, because I'm not familiar with everything Canada, but you said that your singer, Francois, was in acting. Is that correct?
No, he did the singing show Star Academy. the TV show, and he was finalist. The
Oh,
first
oh,
edition.
wait a
He
minute.
was with
Was this
yeah,
like the Canadian version of American Idol?
yeah. Well, something like that, but it was only in Quebec. It was in Quebec, but Celine Dion came to that show. A lot of great artists came over the years, and a couple of artists that did that show became pretty famous in the province of Quebec. Marie-May, I don't know if you know her. It's a French artist, but she did the voice, La Voix. She was one of the coaches. But yeah, it was a very special year that year because it was the first year and François was there and I saw him on TV. I looked. It was the only time that I looked at that show is that first year, and I said to myself, this guy is really cool. And one day I met him, and now we're having a project together. So,
Wow, that's amazing. And he was a total stranger when you saw him on the TV set, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
It's like you conjured him up in some way.
yeah. Probably.
Oh, wow. I have to say, for not really knowing him, every time I turned YouTube on and I saw him running around on the stage, he's got a real Jim Morrison feeling to him, doesn't he? I mean, I
Oh
felt like it
yeah.
was Jim Morrison coming back to life. I mean, not just the hair, but kind of
Wow.
like the head shakes and he was kind of wearing a vest in one of the one of the things. So it's very iconic to like a Jim Morrison.
Yeah, he's a very charismatic guy, and we're very lucky to have him. And him and me were really close friends now, and since the beginning. And I always admired his energy. And for me, when I go on stage with him, it's easy because we know what we're doing, and I know what he's gonna do. We did so many shows together that now it's just amazing every time, and I love that guy.
I think you're very lucky. It sounds like you got a good group there. I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you, a lot of times, when I talk to bands and they talk about writing songs, I thought it was interesting that you had flipped over that $5 bill and you saw the astronaut, and that kind of took you down that rabbit hole of writing that song. But did you
Yeah.
find that either you saw other signs or symbols in your life that led you into writing a song or being inspired to something? Because
Oh my God,
a lot of
so
people
much.
talk to me about my dreams. I've been having very vivid dreams that come true since I was a little girl. So I see
Wow.
dreams in color and I see people and I have conversations. And so, I'm obviously other people are not like me, but I always find it curious if you do dream because I think there's like a connection between the subconscious and the conscious mind when you're dreaming. So I want to hear, are you a dreamer or where are you getting all your signs from?
Oh, oh, I'm a dreamer. Oh yes, I am. Songs that will be on the second album. There's one song that it happens sometimes. I'm sleeping and I'm waking up and I have this melody or this song in my head, and I'm like working on it. I'm like having fun with it. I'm in bed. I just woke up a little dizzy, and at one point I say to myself, "It's 3 a.m., but yeah, I gotta go work on this." So I get up and I start picking my guitar, and sometimes it's ending like something completely different. But there's one song that it's not on the album, but one song that I want to work better because it wasn't finished. That I got the chorus in my head, and it's going to be on the piano because, as I said, I play piano also, and the chorus is amazing. It's called Brothers because my brothers passed away 2 years ago, and then so it's a pretty deep song. And I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Wow, that's really great. It's interesting
Yeah.
that we're inspired by our dreams, but it's also interesting that that song is tied in with your brother, who is also a music person. So it's
Yeah,
like you're playing homage or a tribute to, to
yeah,
him in that way. Wow, it's amazing. Yeah, I always find as a listener, I'm not a musician, but when I listen to the song, it's like, okay, I'm just listening to the song. And then when I hear the words, I'm like, wait a minute, this is a different song. Once you connect something personal in your life to what the
yeah.
lyrics represent for you, it's now sounds like a totally different song and it has so much more meaning. I mean, I could think of a few albums that I kind of like skip over the first couple of songs because I want to get to my song first,
Of course. Yeah, I
So
do that too.
that's amazing. Yeah. Wow. So just tell me a little bit more about your solo album because is that still available? Like, I would be interested in hearing about that. What was the availability of that, or tell me what the
It,
process
it,
of that album was?
well, it's on every numeric platform, every digital platform. It's everywhere. It's on Apple Music. I have two videos on YouTube. It's called Junior Bourcier, like written here, but and the title of the album is Mystic Rain. It's just original compositions on the piano. And for images and for inspirations, there's a lot of stuff in there. Like Mystic Rain, the first piece is it's only instrumental, but I added some rain and thunder to it. So I had a lot of fun with that, and it was recorded on a 7 feet Yamaha grand piano. And when I hit the big notes, it's like bow, but then it goes vibration of the strings. It's yeah, it was a lot of fun. And there's another one also called Butterflies that have this piece has a pretty deep story to it. When my grandfather died, he died at the age of 100 years old, 7 months and 4 days. And when we went to his funeral in September, there were butterflies everywhere. And I was driving from Victoriaville to a town called what's the name of that? Hawick, near Montreal. And there were butterflies. The monarchs were heading back north. It was a very hot day, and when we were at the cemetery, there were big piles of flowers, and there were like 1,000 butterflies on those. And my daughter was there, and she put her finger on the flowers. The butterflies were like going all around, but there's one that stayed on her finger for 5 minutes. I tell you the truth, and I was amazed. So when I got back home, I jumped on the piano and I wrote lines. And I tried to imitate, the wings playing like a little bit, maybe like Little Wing, like Jimi Hendrix tried it on his guitar. So I love to do that with my instruments. I do that on guitar also sometimes. The vision that I have, I'm trying to put it in the instrument, not just chords. That it has to have a meaning.
That's beautiful. That story in itself is beautiful. That's really incredible. So that entire album is instrumental. There's no lyrics to
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Wow.
and yeah. Some people press play and go to sleep, and
Yes.
it's
Or
like,
meditate.
and
I could see a
yeah,
meditation. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That's beautiful.
probably.
Wow. Yeah. It's interesting that you have the correlation of your grandfather who lived such a very long life and that it was paired with butterflies, which are so fragile. And sometimes people say the life of the butterfly is may not be very long because they're so fragile. If you bang into them or they could really fall apart easier, but they take such a beautiful journey to become the butterfly that it's really not their final creation. It's how they get to become that. So it's so
Hmm.
symbolic that he was surrounded with such a beautiful symbol, but also for the family, it's like a symbol of freedom, like he's free. Because when you live
Yeah.
that long, that's incredible to live that long. But I know, and as a psychic medium, I know when things like that happen, it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, yeah.
The butterfly
You're right.
on the hand for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay, come on now.
come on,
That's
5 minutes.
like exactly,
Yeah,
yeah. There's certain
yeah,
things
yeah.
that I find in life that a lot of people would say, oh, that's a coincidence, or I don't believe so. I truly believe in the afterlife, and I truly believe that those in the afterlife send us signs that they're okay, because they
Yeah.
know that we would be worried if they weren't okay. So their ability to send these lifelike symbols for us and these signs are beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. I just really love that. That's really beautiful. I know. So now I
Well,
have
thank
to
you.
find that song so I can hear the little butterflies.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. I tried to do piano as a very little girl and I could not get through that. So, it's just not for everyone. I don't have the focus, I guess. But
Well,
that's
everyone has their own strengths and their own gifts. I would say,
that's
I'm
true.
not very good at doing construction work. So,
Wow, yeah. So did any of your children become musicians since you're so musician yourself?
yeah, my daughter, she learned to play the piano. In fact, when I did my album launch in 2018 for this album, she played one piece with me, but it was something that we created together. It's not on the album, and it's I think it's on YouTube. It's called Peaceful Eternity, and it's a father-daughter moment. And she was 12 years old, and she started playing the piano 6 weeks before we were doing stuff and just with one finger. And I said, if you really want this, I could add you in my show. And she said, I want to do it. So we wrote the thing, and we played it only once. We're still playing it now for fun, but it was really sweet moment.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. I always find it interesting how quickly children can pick things up,
Yeah.
especially if the parent encourages them. That's really the key there, because if the parent does not show interest or doesn't encourage them, the child's going to lose interest. So that's really incredible. That's great. Wow. So no other musicians in the family?
No, no, my son is more into sports. He played hockey for a while, and now he's playing football. So I'm happy because I played football. But so, but yeah, and my daughter doesn't want to create songs. But she's more in the creation of, she's more into arts. So she has an artist side. She did a lot of nail art also. She was very interested in that. She's very good at it also, and but no one else. No.
Wow, that's cool. So I have a couple of questions for you.
Yeah.
We're getting Atomic Train on the road. We're getting things to happen with Atomic Train. So where do you see yourself? Like the ultimate goal is to do more touring, but personally, and kind of for yourself, where do you really see yourself? Like, what are your immediate goals? What are your short and long term goals? Because I have a lot of people that listen to this radio show, and they may be in a band, or they may be looking for a band. They may be looking, to be a session player. And then I have a lot of other people that listen to the show, and they're not musicians at all, but they're looking from some sort of perspective on how do I get a goal? What should I be looking for in my life? And it's interesting because sometimes we can't find the answer for ourselves, but the power of suggestion that somebody else thinks it's a good idea, I'll try that, or maybe I should look into that. So tell me what you think for you.
Well, as of now, I'm a logistics consultant. I work in a trucking company and help them make more money ultimately, and make sure that it's, the billing and the rates department and the software is developed in the right way, and support the operations team and work with the sales people and everything. So this was one goal of mine. So I'm doing this now. I've been working in logistics for 25 years now. And my short-term goal now is to work more towards the music. So I'm building a course on how to create riffs, guitar riffs right now. And so this is a couple of months. I want to get this out online. And after this, my like 2 or 3 years goal is really to play everywhere on the planet with Atomic Train and continue doing maybe other composition courses, because I'm aiming for more freedom in my life to do these things and to create and to help others become better. So this is what I'm aiming for.
Wow, that's really neat. So to put together a course on doing riffs, is that going to be a course that they have you as a personal instructor, or is it pre-taped that they'll be able to watch you and then copy you?
As of now, it's going to be pre-taped, but after this, I can do coaching. It's a quick course, not too expensive for starters or beginners or intermediate or even advanced. Some people have been playing music for a long time, but there are some things that they're doing that they keep them stuck. So I'm looking to help them unstuck. And after that, if they need personal coaching, yeah, I would be open to that.
Wow, that's really neat. I know it's interesting when you take on a student because you feel that you have so much knowledge to share with them. But at the same time, there's a lot of responsibility on the student. You know, they have to do what you tell them to do, you know? And that's the frustration in teaching, you know? Like you can only control half of the
True.
equation. You know, if they don't do
Yeah.
their homework or they don't practice, especially doing guitar work, you know, you don't get better at guitar by looking at it, right? You have to play it, right?
Yeah, but the funny thing is that you're right, but I never liked practicing either on the piano or the guitar. I always enjoyed more the exploration part. So for me, it was always fun, even if what I was trying to do wasn't that good for starters. But it was always the goal of the pleasure of discovering what am I going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. What's his name? Dave Grohl wrote a song with Paul McCartney, and they got interviewed, and Paul McCartney said they were creating something, and he says we don't know what we're doing. and and this is exactly it. You don't know what you're doing, but I can show you that, because people that I know try to create stuff, but they're always doing the same course the same way, and always trying in the same spot. But if when you understand that you can just tweak some things, take a finger out of there, try to go somewhere you never went, and stuff like that, easy stuff, and then make it start small and then go more complicated along the way, and repeat, repeat, repeat. And that's pretty much what I've been doing all my musical life.
Wow, you're so interesting. Tell me about it. You really are. Tell me about where everyone can download your music, get it on streaming, your websites. If you could plug Atomic Train, that would be great.
Yeah, yeah. You can go to atomictrain.com, atomic with a K, of course, and you can already you can buy merch, the bios of the band, and the date shows will be there on there all as well. And you can also go on Facebook, just write Atomic Train all together, atomic with a K page. We have an Instagram, pretty much what everyone has. But if you will find everything there. And there's already videos. You have the link to Supersonic Video. Because as of now, it's only the video on YouTube that's available. The song is not out yet on every digital platform. So if you want to hear the song, go there and write to us. Tell us your comments. Tell us if you like it, and hopefully we'll do a show nearby where you are soon.
Oh, yes, I would love it. You know, when they go to YouTube, they need to hit like and hit subscribe. I always tell
Yeah,
people with the
you're right.
YouTube videos and make comments because I know I'll be going on there writing comments. We are looking forward to seeing more of Atomik Train. I know I am. We're going to roll out today with your song Supersonic Speedway. It's a pleasure to have you on. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Kathy. It's been a real pleasure. Thanks for your time. We really appreciate it. And hopefully someday we will meet face to face.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. Here we go with Supersonic Speedway. Thanks again. You have been listening to Bringing the Darkness to the Light with Catherine Nadal, professional psychic medium, Dream Central Station, LLC. My audio editor is Al Hemberger at the Loft Recording Studios in Bronxville, New York. This is WNEW 102.7 FM radio.